they call those people upon through social media. You know, it is not enough to come on Facebook, update a status, paste photos, and you say you've embraced social media. No, you know, they should. It goes beyond that. You know, it goes beyond that, far way beyond that.
It was through the social media that we were able to see the man of the Rivers State House of Assembly macing a fellow colleague. It was the social media that brought up the issue of last mile officers and police officers taking bribes. It was the social media that propagated the video of Farouk Lawal. It was the social media that showed us where Adams Oshomole was telling a widow to go to hell.
He was talking about Farouk Lawan. Farouk Lawan was seen on hell. What was the result after the video about the social media? The social media did not change any effect of governance. He is talking about Oshomole. Oshomole came out to stay apologize because some people came to meet him, just like Chinese will always show. But there was no protest to make governance change. Like we were talking about social media changing governance. Look at, let me give an example, like ASU strike that is going on. We saw what was happening in Egypt. It was through the social media because the government were very strict with information. So people were coming to Facebook to gather and mobilize. ASU strike, Nigerian students have been at home for 4 months. You've not seen any agitation coming and say, yeah, we're not going to agree with this governance. But what he's saying, Farouk Lawan, after the end of the investigation, everything, Farouk Lawan still remain a member of the House of Representatives. So it doesn't change anything. The policeman he was talking about, there was no policeman that have been like sacked publicly. It was the only other policeman. So in the long run, I have not seen social media changing governance in Nigeria in a very minimal way. If you say the effect, yeah, like Oshomole came out to apologize, yeah, it has affected in some certain extent, but not to the way it's supposed to have affected.
Our leaders are very, very smart as well, and we will always follow them up because they seem to deny everything, we are aware of. They are very smart. Nigerians are smart. Our leaders they are equal to the task. And as Nigerians, we should come together, regardless of our, tribe and ethnicity. We should put that aside because one thing that is killing us in Nigeria is that tribal sentiment. That thing is really killing us.
I would like to see a platform like this where you could see like maybe El-Rufai coming here to talk. El-Rufai, maybe like this Afenifere guy or Demakin. You see some prominent people coming to hang out and they analyze the issue. All Nigerians try to have a platform that maybe we say join Nigerian group or one Nigerian group. With this, they can file petition, agitate for a particular case, and they have a representative and take it to the House of Assembly. By this process, the social media will be very effective. But now, there is nothing like that. We're just living in an isolated, on your own domain. No prominent person that is very popular, I can lead a protest. No one is doing that. So how do you want the social media to work or to be effective when there is no platform like sending a petition? If you look like American just need this forum. I have gone to that forum before, a petition forum. Maybe they actually that if we have about 200,000 petitions, then we are going to submit it to the Senate. But in Nigeria, we don't have that kind of platform. So how do you want, in this kind of case, you want the social media to be effective? It is never going to be effective because it's a very disorganized and scattered atmosphere. Everybody just come and grumble, murmur, support based on your personal view. Just come and sometimes spoil your anger on the social media without anybody even reading it.
All right, thank you, Donald. This is where we'll have to stop. We've taken so much of your comments, your contribution, and what you feel. So, how you feel, like I would say, social media has affected governance in Nigeria. But then we'll have to take a break. And when we return, we'll be joined by the Special Assistant to the President on New Media, Reno Omokri. Join us right after this.
You see, life has just got easier. You stay connected to Channels TV, where news and innovations are shaping our world. Simply log on to channelstv.com to get the breaking news. Browse the homepage according to what matters to you. Tap on the extended coverage of business, sports, politics, lifestyle, infotech, entertainment, health, world news, and lots more. Click on the live link and see the news in real time. Do you want to watch the latest video of the day? It's just a click away. Friend us on Facebook, YouTube, follow us on Twitter, Google+, participate in Channels TV poll, and share your comments. It's a website you can talk to. Your voice will be heard. ChannelsTV.com. The news at your fingertips.
Welcome back. We're now being joined by the Special Advisor to the President on New Media, Mr. Reno Omokri. Reno, thank you for coming on the program.
Thank you very much, Victor, but I need to correct you.
Okay.
I'm the Special Assistant to the President on New Media.
All right, thank you for the correction, Reno. Just in continuation now, this administration embraced social media. Actually, it's the first to embrace social media. What informed this decision?
Well, that's the thing. You have to understand that in 2006, there was a movement in the world. According to the Nielsen ratings, that was the first time when young people, that's 35 and under, began to get their news more from social media, from online platforms, than from the traditional media. Now, at that time, you really didn't have Facebook, or you didn't have Twitter, but you had almost all the traditional media. They had their websites, and so more young people were getting on those platforms. And so it was a natural thing for any progressive administration to just, follow that trend. And that's why we did that.
All right, just going by what you just said, what methods have you guys been using to see that you guys use this thing properly, social media?
Social media is a platform for real-time feedback, and we've been using it properly. I'll just give you a couple of scenarios. You remember in 2010, the president, he went to South Africa and he saw Super Eagles perform.
Yeah.
And he wasn't impressed. We all weren't impressed. I'm sure you, Victor, you were not impressed. And then he came back and, he issued a directive. We joined Nigeria from international tournaments. And what happened? Young people went on his Facebook page and they told him, said, please, Mr. President, temper justice with mercy. And he listened. And what happened? He changed his mind and he called a conference to address that. Also, from his Facebook page, the president has been able to find out that Nigeria had property in San Francisco. We didn't know that. Somebody, a young Nigerian, went on Facebook and then said that to the president. So the president is a listening leader. He uses Facebook, and not just Facebook, other social media platforms to gather real-time information from Nigerians.
Okay, the president has received so much hits and flags on social media. How have you guys been able to manage this flags? Is there any law against such thing, and is there any law protecting those who use social media in a way they're not supposed to use to?
Let me explain something very clearly right now. You have several platforms on social media. Twitter as a platform, it just allows 140 characters. Now, it favors those who attack, who ask questions, who criticize. Because, for instance, if you're going to ask me a question, you're going to just probably 2 sentences. If I'm going to respond, I'm probably going to use about 50 sentences. So a platform like Twitter, it has, it all over the world, not just in Nigeria, it favors critics. But you see that when you talk about the platform like Facebook and then other platforms that allow unlimited characters, it favors authority figures, people at the top, people who are doing. And so when you have such a balance, there's really no need. If people are criticizing, if people are taking heat, as long as, you have an answer, you can explain to people, and that's what people are looking for. They want, right now, there's a lot of youths in Nigeria who want their voice heard. They've never had a platform where their voice could be heard. The traditional media has always favored the elderly, the elite, and right now it's something that we have to do. And it's probably because this is the first administration that has taken that route. That's why it seems like we're taking a lot of heat. But the president is capable, and he is responding to that.
Before you became this, I think you were a pastor. How have you been able to put that together with your office? Looking at the fact that, you have to protect your pastoral inclination and protecting the president's image on social media.
Well, that's the thing, is if you read the Bible, you find out that some of the most successful characters in the Bible were pastors as well as very successful politicians. You're talking about Joseph, you're talking about Daniel, and you're talking about Paul. These were excellent figures. Joseph was like the prime minister of ancient Egypt. Daniel was the president of Babylon. And then Paul